Thinking retro? Perhaps one of the strongest symbols of the modern retro home was the Black Lady lamp, an acquired taste. But did you know they were produced in Australia? Created by George Barsony, these days they're highly collectible. George Barsony was a talented sculptor from Pécs in Hungary. He studied at art school in Budapest and Munich and arrived in Australia as a refugee in 1949. It was here he met his future wife, Jean, a decorator at a Sydney pottery, and together they set up Barsony Ceramics. The company operated in Western Sydney from the 1950s to 70s. At the end of the 70s, the kilns were sold, but the company continued to operate until 2005. The name Barsony has become synonymous with black ceramics produced during the 50s and 60s. Pieces from this period have become known as Barsony era or Barsony style. There are many Barsony lookalikes, often made in Japan. The Sydney-based company Kalmar made some very similar items that are often confused with Barsony. This piece here is made by the English company Moss, so you can see where the confusion comes from. But if you're after an original Barsony, these are the markings you should be looking for. From the late 1950s through to the late 60s, pieces were marked either Barsony or George Barsony. From the late 60s to 1977, this stamp was used. There were also prefix markings to represent what the item was, followed by a mould number. Barsony also made pieces under the name Venice and Silver Cloud. Some of the more unusual pieces in the range include this gorgeous lustre-glazed pink poodle and a little Hawaiian girl who really rocks. The designs follow themes from ballerinas to ladies in swimsuits, flamenco dancers and even a boy musician. The most desirable and valuable of these lamps are those with their original shades, in these classic 1950s colours of yellow, red and aqua. Now interestingly, some of them had ashtrays built into the bases, which means these days it's quite hard to find a lampshade without a little bit of damage. Jean would make the lampshades at home around the kitchen table while looking after their 3 children. George designed and made all of the original figurines and moulds. No 2 pieces are the same, as they were all hand decorated. George Barsony passed away recently at age 93. His legacy? A bevy of black beauties that have achieved icon status.